Luxury has many forms, but true luxury has a sound, a presence, and a purpose that go beyond price tags or badges. It is about how a machine makes people feel before it even moves. Think of a car that announces itself not with noise but with calm confidence. A car that made executives feel untouchable, celebrities look invincible, and engineers proud enough to call it their peak achievement. It came from an era when perfection was not a slogan but an expectation. When every panel gap, every leather stitch, and every mechanical click had to justify its existence. This was not about speed alone. It was about command. It represented a moment when the idea of luxury moved from mere comfort to quiet authority. The kind of authority that still makes enthusiasts stop, stare, and whisper that they do not make them like this anymore. Today, we uncover how that car became a global symbol of power and grace. How it carried not just passengers, but an entire philosophy of excellence. Stay tuned, hit like and subscribe, and let us know in the comments which classic luxury flagship you want covered next. The Mercedes-Benz W126 560 SEL of 1988 was more than a sedan. It was the benchmark for how a flagship should feel, drive, and command respect. To understand why, we have to go back to its origins in the late 1970s, when Mercedes-Benz faced an identity challenge. The company had built its reputation on durability and understated class, but luxury was changing fast. Rivals were experimenting with electronic gadgets, turbocharged engines, and bold styling. The task for Mercedes was not just to follow trends. It was to create a standard so high that others would chase it for years. That mission became the W126 project. It was engineered under the philosophy of long-term perfection, not instant flash. Every component was designed for longevity, safety, and silence. The team obsessed over aerodynamics at a time when few luxury sedans even considered drag coefficients. The result was a sleek, commanding shape that reduced wind noise and improved fuel efficiency, while maintaining unmistakable gravitas. The 560 SEL name told a story in numbers and letters. A 5.6-liter V8 engine, fuel-injected, housed within the extended wheelbase body of the S-Class. But that dry specification cannot capture what made the car special. This machine represented Mercedes-Benz at its most uncompromising. The engineers were not asked how to make it cheaper or lighter. They were asked how to make it perfect. The aluminum V8 produced smooth, effortless power. The cabin isolation was so advanced that at highway speeds, passengers could converse at a whisper. Even the seatbelt buckles were engineered to retract silently and elegantly. Every detail was considered part of the brand's reputation. There was no room for mediocrity. At a glance, the 1988 560 SEL looked conservative. It was not flamboyant or trendy. Yet that restraint became its power. Executives, diplomats, and celebrities preferred its dignified presence because it communicated control without showiness. The long wheelbase added visual authority and extra rear legroom, turning the back seat into a boardroom on wheels. In many ways, this was the first luxury sedan that blurred the line between office and automobile. People could make deals, review contracts, or simply close the curtains and rest, all while gliding at Autobahn speeds. The car's balance of performance and serenity was unmatched. The 560 SEL also marked a shift in safety leadership. Mercedes-Benz pioneered the concept of a passenger cell with controlled deformation zones. The W126 expanded that idea with new materials and crumple geometry, plus the introduction of driver-side airbags and ABS as standard in many markets. At the time, these features were revolutionary. They reinforced Mercedes-Benz's image not only as a maker of luxury, but as the guardian of its occupants. No other sedan combined such foresight in both protection and prestige. Mechanically, the 560 SEL carried forward the meticulous engineering tradition that defined the brand. The double wishbone front suspension, semi-trailing arm rear setup, and self-leveling hydro-pneumatic system worked together to maintain perfect composure even when fully loaded. At 4,000 pounds, it was not light, but it felt effortlessly balanced. The steering was precise but never nervous. Drivers often commented that it felt smaller than it looked, which was no small feat for such a large sedan. On the open road, the V8's deep but muted growl was a reminder that power and elegance could coexist. Inside, the cabin reflected an obsession with tactile perfection. The leather was thick, the wood veneer deep and polished, and every switch operated with reassuring weight. The designers avoided digital screens and complex controls, focusing instead on analog precision. Even the climate control dials had a carefully engineered resistance that conveyed solidity. To own a 560 SEL in 1988 was not merely to own transportation. It was to possess a moving sanctuary built to last decades. Many examples still operate smoothly today, evidence of the philosophy that guided its creation. What truly set the Mercedes-Benz W126 560 SEL apart, however, was its dual identity. It was both a driver's car and a chauffeur's car. In Europe, executives often preferred to drive it themselves, appreciating its balanced handling and subtle athleticism. In the United States, it became the favored choice of high-profile clients who valued discretion. Whether rolling through Beverly Hills or across the German Autobahn, the car spoke the same language of success: confidence without noise. Yet beneath this composure was fierce competition. Other manufacturers were closing in with more daring designs and digital experiments. Some introduced turbocharged engines, computer-managed suspensions, or futuristic dashboards. Mercedes-Benz resisted those trends, trusting its traditional craftsmanship and mechanical honesty. The 560 SEL was their statement that true luxury needed no gimmicks. It offered refinement through engineering, not marketing. This choice would later define its legacy, but at the time, it was a risky stand against the rising tide of innovation for innovation's sake. The 560 SEL also became a symbol of global aspiration. In emerging economies, owning one meant you had arrived. Politicians, business magnates, and entertainers used it as both transportation and trophy. The car's silhouette became shorthand for success. In films, music videos, and diplomatic motorcades, it represented power without ostentation. Its understated exterior projected credibility and taste. The irony was that while it was designed for comfort and civility, its image became synonymous with authority. To see one glide by was to understand hierarchy without words. Still, the W126 560 SEL was not invincible. It required disciplined maintenance and understanding owners. The complex hydraulics, high-quality materials, and tight tolerances demanded attention. This was not a car for casual neglect. Mercedes-Benz assumed its clientele valued long-term ownership, not disposable luxury. That assumption shaped everything from its materials to its service philosophy. When properly cared for, the 560 SEL could exceed 500,000 miles. Neglected, it could humble even the wealthiest drivers with repair costs. It was a machine that rewarded respect. By 1988, the model had reached the peak of its refinement. It had received subtle styling updates, improved engines, and a slightly softer ride, reflecting the brand's desire to keep it current without altering its core. Reviewers praised its composure, noting that while competitors added gadgets, the 560 SEL perfected the fundamentals. It was the kind of car that made time slow down, its movements deliberate, its reactions confident, its demeanor unbothered by trends. In a sense, it represented the last of the purely mechanical luxury sedans before digital systems began to dominate. That year, owning the Mercedes-Benz W126 560 SEL meant participating in a global culture of excellence. Whether parked at a country estate or idling outside a skyscraper, it conveyed trustworthiness and stature. It was the vehicle of choice for those who valued craftsmanship over flash. Its quiet confidence resonated across generations of enthusiasts who would later call it the last true S-Class built by engineers rather than accountants. In its understated form lay an uncompromising belief that quality should never shout. The Mercedes-Benz W126 560 SEL did not just impress engineers and executives. It imprinted itself on culture. In the late 1980s and early 1990s, its presence transcended garages and showrooms. It began appearing in films, music videos, and headlines as an emblem of success. From Hollywood to Hong Kong, its form was instantly recognizable. The long body, upright grille, and confident stance gave it an unmistakable silhouette that camera lenses loved. When it rolled into frame, it announced power without a word. The cultural rise of the 560 SEL showed how engineering excellence could translate into symbolism. Part of the appeal came from its timing. The world was changing fast. The global economy was expanding, media influence was growing, and luxury itself was being redefined. The Mercedes-Benz W126 560 SEL became the car of those who led or aspired to lead this new era. Executives chose it for its reliability under pressure. Artists used it to represent achievement. World leaders trusted it as a moving fortress. Unlike other vehicles that relied on trends, the 560 SEL represented enduring taste. Its design aged gracefully, so a 5-year-old example still carried the same prestige as a new one. This longevity strengthened its reputation as a status symbol that did not fade with time. In urban centers, the 560 SEL became shorthand for success stories. If a character in a movie arrived in one, the audience instantly understood their social position. It projected quiet dominance, the kind that did not need exaggeration. Unlike flashier cars that shouted for attention, the 560 SEL whispered authority. That subtle distinction resonated deeply in cultures that valued discretion. For many, it represented the dream of moving up in life, of achieving stability and respect. To own it was to arrive. To maintain it was to prove you belonged. The 560 SEL's influence spread far beyond the United States and Europe. In Asia, it was the choice of dignitaries and business magnates. In the Middle East, its combination of power and comfort fit perfectly with long-distance travel and high temperatures. In Africa, it symbolized reliability and presence. Wherever it went, it adapted seamlessly to different cultures while retaining its identity. This universality made it not just a German car, but a global icon of leadership. It became the unspoken language of success, understood across continents. The appeal was not purely visual. The driving experience reinforced the aura. The 5.6-liter V8 provided a deep sense of reserve. There was always power in hand, never in your face. The transmission shifted smoothly, the steering felt deliberate, and the suspension glided over imperfections as if the world itself had been smoothed. Those who drove it described the sensation as calm authority. It was not about aggression but mastery. Even decades later, sitting behind the wheel of a well-preserved 560 SL carries the same impression. You are in command of something that was built to exceed expectation. The Mercedes-Benz W126 560 SEL also became an anchor point in the public imagination during times of change. When the Berlin Wall fell, when economies boomed and crashed, when new nations emerged, this car often appeared in the background of history. Its durability made it a constant presence. Governments kept them in service long after their contemporaries retired. Chauffeurs and private owners preserved them because they represented continuity. In a world of rapid turnover, the 560 SEL remained steady. That steadiness became part of its mythology. Another aspect that elevated the 560 SEL to icon status was the craftsmanship visible in every detail. The precision fit of the doors, the weight of the switches, and the integrity of the materials gave owners something tangible to admire. Even after years of use, the car's interior rarely creaked or faded. Owners often speak about how the car ages gracefully, like a tailored suit that fits better with time. This lasting quality reinforced the belief that Mercedes-Benz had achieved something beyond luxury: permanence. The car did not just look valuable, it felt inevitable. But the story of the Mercedes-Benz W126 560 SEL's rise as a cultural icon also includes an undercurrent of irony. Its very success created expectations that even Mercedes-Benz would struggle to meet later. Future S-Class models became more complex, more digital, and arguably less mechanical in spirit. Many enthusiasts look back at the 560 SEL as the final expression of the brand's golden era, when every nut and bolt was engineered for eternity. It set a standard so high that it became difficult to surpass. The car's aura came not from marketing slogans but from the quiet confidence of uncompromised design. That legacy attracted new generations of admirers. Collectors began seeking out clean examples, restoring them not as relics but as living artifacts of engineering philosophy. Younger enthusiasts, who grew up seeing the car in media or their neighborhoods, started buying them as modern classics. The 560 SEL's value grew not because of rarity but because of relevance. It represented a form of craftsmanship that people feared was disappearing. Even with modern vehicles offering more technology, few deliver the same feeling of solidity and poise. The car's symbolism also evolved. What was once a statement of wealth became a statement of taste. Driving a 560 SEL today is less about showing status and more about appreciating a form of engineering honesty that has become rare. It is admired not just for its performance but for what it represents. The belief that a machine can be both functional and soulful. Owners speak of the serenity that comes with driving it, the sense that it demands respect and rewards patience. That emotional connection explains why it continues to appear in documentaries, exhibitions, and even art installations dedicated to timeless design. Yet, like all icons, the Mercedes-Benz W126 560 SEL's meaning has shifted with time. What once symbolized corporate power now carries nostalgia for an era when craftsmanship was personal. The car's analog nature appeals to those who crave simplicity amid digital overload. Its design language, rooted in restraint, has become a lesson in enduring elegance. Every crease and curve was drawn for purpose, not fashion. Even its limitations, such as fuel consumption and maintenance costs, now feel like proof of authenticity. It was built before efficiency overtook character, and that makes it treasured today. This enduring fascination shows how deeply the 560 SEL connected with people's sense of aspiration. It was not just about luxury. It was about the dignity of excellence. The car demonstrated that power could be silent, comfort could be purposeful, and success could be subtle. Its influence can still be felt in modern luxury sedans that attempt to blend performance, comfort, and restraint. But while many have imitated its formula, few have matched its balance. The 560 SEL's greatness lies not in nostalgia, but in the timeless principles it represents. As the 560 SEL continues to occupy garages, museums, and movie scenes, its reputation only strengthens. Each surviving example tells a story of endurance. It reminds us that mechanical craftsmanship can outlast digital trends. The engineers who built it wanted to create a car that would define the brand for decades. The legacy of the Mercedes-Benz W126 560 SEL extends beyond nostalgia. It stands as a blueprint for how timeless design and uncompromising engineering can outlast trends. When production ended in 1991, the automotive world was already shifting toward digital dashboards, computer-assisted driving aids, and electronic experimentation. Yet even in that changing environment, the 560 SEL continued to command respect. Owners kept them running, collectors preserved them, and enthusiasts rebuilt them. Decades later, its reputation only grew stronger. What was once a symbol of modernity became a monument to mechanical excellence. The Mercedes-Benz W126 560 SEL endures because it represents a rare convergence of values. It was a car built when safety, strength, and serenity were the cornerstones of prestige. Every mechanical part was designed to work in harmony. Nothing was decorative without purpose. That philosophy gave it depth. While many luxury cars of the late 1980s have vanished into obscurity, the 560 SEL thrives in memory and metal. It still looks composed on modern roads, its proportions dignified and balanced. Its quiet confidence reminds us that elegance is not a matter of fashion but of proportion and intention. Ownership of a Mercedes-Benz W126 560 SEL today carries both privilege and responsibility. These cars demand care, patience, and understanding. Their systems were engineered for precision, not convenience. To maintain one properly is to participate in the mindset of its original creators. Mechanics familiar with the model often describe it as rewarding. When everything is tuned correctly, it glides with an integrity that newer machines cannot replicate. The effort it takes to preserve one mirrors the craftsmanship that built it. Each surviving example represents the endurance of human skill over time. The car's influence also persists in the industry's collective memory. Engineers and designers still reference the W126 platform as a study in balance. It achieved aerodynamic efficiency without sacrificing presence, integrated technology without overwhelming the driver, and delivered performance without drama. The 560 SEL's success demonstrated that refinement could coexist with innovation. Many of its principles, rigid chassis design, safety cell construction, and restrained aesthetics, remain part of the brand's DNA today. Even as the automotive world moves toward electrification and automation, the 560 SEL reminds manufacturers that technology must serve experience, not overshadow it. From a collector's standpoint, The 1988 Mercedes-Benz W126 560 SEL represents an inflection point. Values for well-preserved models have risen steadily, not because of rarity, but because of appreciation for integrity. Enthusiasts recognize that this was the last flagship built under an era when Mercedes-Benz prioritized engineering excellence above profit margins. Each restored example becomes a conversation about the lost art of overbuilding. Enthusiast communities celebrate them with rallies and preservation events. In these gatherings, the 560 SEL stands as a symbol of what can be achieved when a company builds for generations rather than market cycles. Its influence even stretches into design philosophy outside the automotive world. Architects, product designers, and industrial artists often point to the W126's form as an example of disciplined aesthetics. Its surfaces are smooth but purposeful. Its lines are logical, not decorative. The car embodies a principle that transcends industry. Restraint amplifies presence. This idea resonates today in an age of sensory overload. The 560 SEL's design still teaches that silence, proportion, and precision can command more attention than noise and novelty. The cultural memory surrounding the Mercedes-Benz W126 560 SEL also reflects a longing for permanence. In an era of disposable technology, this sedan represents endurance. Its continued use on roads worldwide serves as a quiet form of resistance against planned obsolescence. Drivers who choose it today are often motivated not by luxury but by admiration for its craftsmanship. Owning one becomes a statement about values. That quality should be built to last, and excellence should not require constant replacement. It reminds us that true progress respects the foundation of what came before. The 560 SEL's symbolic role has also evolved with the passing decades. For younger audiences, it represents authenticity. For older ones, it evokes memory. Both responses prove its emotional range. In films and documentaries, it often appears as a time capsule for ambition and success. Yet it no longer carries the same corporate sharpness it once did. Instead, it radiates warmth and nostalgia. Its authority has softened into admiration. This transformation shows that icons can evolve without losing relevance. Driving a Mercedes-Benz W126 560 SEL today remains an experience of deliberate calm. The thick steering wheel, solid door close, and smooth engine note create a rhythm unlike modern cars. It feels analog in the best possible way, engaging every sense without overwhelming them. The car rewards measured inputs. It prefers smooth driving to sharp maneuvers. On long trips, its stability and silence are still impressive. Even after decades, it can cross continents with grace. That capability, combined with its character, makes it more than a collectible. It is a companion from a more thoughtful time. As the world transitions toward electric mobility, the Mercedes-Benz W126 560 SEL occupies a unique position in automotive history. It marks the height of mechanical luxury before the digital age took over. Its appeal does not rely on nostalgia alone but on principles that remain valid: precision, comfort, safety, and authenticity. Electric drivetrains may redefine performance, but they cannot replicate the tactile satisfaction of machinery built with human attention. The 560 SEL's continued relevance proves that emotional connection still matters as much as innovation. In the end, the story of the Mercedes-Benz W126 560 SEL is not only about a car. It is about the mindset that created it. The pursuit of excellence without compromise, the belief that craftsmanship is a moral duty, and the conviction that true luxury comes from discipline rather than excess. It is a lesson to both industry and audience that quality is not a trend. It is a tradition. Every surviving 560 SEL on the road is a moving reminder of that truth. And so, as we look back on this masterpiece, we see not just a vehicle but a reflection of human aspiration. The 560 SEL showed that machines can embody ideals, that design can express integrity, and that perfection, though costly, is worth pursuing. Its presence continues to inspire, its legacy continues to teach, and its silhouette continues to command silent respect. That is the lasting impact of the Mercedes-Benz W126 560 SEL. A car that did not just define an era but transcended it, teaching every generation that true greatness is built, not advertised. The Mercedes-Benz W126 560 SEL stands as proof that excellence can endure beyond fashion. Its story is one of vision, execution, and legacy. From its debut in the late 1980s to its respected status today, it represents what happens when engineers, not marketers, define luxury. The 560 SEL was not created to impress a moment. It was built to outlast decades. Its quiet strength, mechanical purity, and timeless design continue to remind us why it became more than a car. It became a statement of what human craftsmanship can achieve. The Mercedes-Benz W126 560 SEL teaches a simple truth. Quality creates longevity. Every element, from its bank vault doors to its whispering engine, was made to serve a purpose. It did not need digital displays or gimmicks to command respect. Instead, it relied on proportion, balance, and precision. That restraint gave it authority. As technology races forward, this car remains a symbol of equilibrium, a lesson that innovation without integrity loses meaning. It still feels solid, relevant, and sincere, even when parked beside vehicles filled with sensors and screens. For enthusiasts and newcomers alike, the 1988 Mercedes-Benz W126 560 SEL represents a promise kept. It demonstrates that true luxury does not require reinvention every few years. It requires patience, craftsmanship, and consistency. When driven today, it feels more like a time capsule than an antique. The experience of closing its heavy door, of hearing the steady hum of its V8, of gliding in serene control, connects drivers to a philosophy that valued endurance over spectacle. That connection is rare, and it explains why so many still seek, restore, and preserve this model with devotion. The 560 SEL's legacy also serves as a mirror for the automotive world. It challenges current manufacturers to ask difficult questions. What makes a car truly great? Is it the technology, the performance, or the soul that binds it together? For Mercedes-Benz, the W126 answered those questions with enduring clarity. It proved that a car could be both powerful and graceful, innovative yet timeless. Its engineering integrity continues to inspire designers and remind us that progress should build on excellence, not replace it. Today, the Mercedes-Benz W126 560 SEL remains a bridge between eras. It connects the analog craftsmanship of the past to the ambitions of the future. It invites admiration not through nostalgia alone, but through relevance. It shows that design rooted in logic and sincerity never loses its beauty. For those who experience it firsthand, it still delivers what it always did: confidence, comfort, and quiet command. Every turn of its wheel feels deliberate, every mile a testament to enduring mastery. So as we conclude this journey through the story of the 1988 Mercedes-Benz W126 560 SEL, remember what it truly represents. It is not simply a luxury sedan from a celebrated brand. It is a philosophy made tangible, a product of people who believed that perfection was possible through persistence. It reminds us that engineering can be an art form, and that art can have a practical soul. The 560 SEL endures because it was built with conviction. It remains timeless because it was built with care. That is why, even after all these years, it still commands respect and continues to set the standard for what a flagship should be. And perhaps that is the final lesson of the Mercedes-Benz W126 560 SEL. Greatness is not about being the newest or the fastest. It is about being right. Right in proportion, right in purpose, and right in spirit. Few machines achieve that balance. This one did. And that is why its legend continues to move, one dignified mile at a time.